Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wired Nerdy Podcast. This is episode number 7 of season 3. My name is Keith. I'm here with my bestie, Dougie. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing good.
This episode has been a long time in the making.
It has.
Like a few months, right? So
It's pretty exciting. I really want to get into it, but I thought we need to get into some nerd news. But to say that, I had 2 articles for nerd news,
Mhm.
and then I'm thinking, and then boom, when I come back to our little planning document, my goodness, you got all kinds of good stuff in there.
I found a lot of stuff, and
I'm excited.
there is a lot of news, which I was kind of surprised because again, we do this to try to keep people up to speed, educate. We learn stuff too, but yeah, I think we got some good stuff.
Yeah,
So
I like it.
but the main topic is we've been building up for, and I am super excited for.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to do the nerd news?
Yeah, and let's not delay it any longer.
Let's
Let's let them know what we've
let's-
been working on.
Cue up the nerd news.
Nerd News.
Okay, I'm gonna get that share going.
All right. As you're getting that, our first story takes us to Amazon.
Yep, that is.
So it wouldn't be a Wired Nerdy show without a little bit of AI. And, we have Siri, we have Google's version, which I totally forgot. What do they call it?
Which one?
What is Google's called?
Oh, I don't use it, so I don't know either.
Switching teams, I forgot what it's called. Anyway,
I know.
so we have Amazon that also has an AI chatbot, Alexa. You are going to get a long-awaited Amazon Alexa Plus upgrade. And some of the good things is if you have a Prime membership, that's the discounts on the shipping along with the Prime Video, Prime Music. You're going to get some of the Amazon Alexa Plus upgrades as well.
Not all of them, though. Aren't they charging
No.
$20?
I believe they are, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like to me, like if you're a Prime member, then you can check it out, I believe.
Mhm.
But long term, I believe the plan is to charge $20, which, you're going to be spending that, I guess, for ChatGPT. And I mean, that's really what it is. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Eesh. I don't know. Yeah, it says here to since Alexa supported devices already to make the transition more seamless, Amazon is baking in a new service to its Prime subscription, which only costs, now this says $14.99 monthly or $139 annually, and it grants.
Well, I think that's talking about just the Prime membership, not the. Yep. So scroll down just a little bit.
Perfect. Thank you. See, I didn't do my homework.
ChatGPT Plus, which costs about $20 monthly, and then they talk about Amazon is offering Alexa Plus for $20 a month for non-Prime users.
Gotcha. That's what it is. So you got to pay for it. Would you pay for another AI? I don't know.
I don't know if I'd pay for this one, but you have talked about you have a paid subscription to ChatGPT. You tell me all these amazing things. If I was going to pay for an AI, I would probably pay for that one just based on user feedback from you.
Yeah. And by the way, I did look it up because it was bothering me. They just changed the name of the Google Assistant to Gemini. It's
Gemini. Okay. Yeah.
It's the same as
it used to be
AI.
Google Now, and then it was Google Assistant, like a very bland name. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So I don't know. They had a big event for Amazon, but it was all about Alexa Plus. It was all about their AI. I don't know. I think it's a mistake for them to charge. I get why they're charging because it's expensive to run it. And I don't know. To me, if they did charge, I think it needs to be cheaper than $20. They would have been better to undercut and maybe make it 10 or 5, right? Because if you're gonna spend $20, personally, I would just go with the one that seems to be leading right now. But,
okay. I'm going on a soapbox here for Amazon. I used to have an amazing playlist on Amazon Music, and then they decided to charge you for Amazon Music in addition to your Amazon Prime account.
Yeah, they call it Music Unlimited.
So now it's Amazon Shuffle. You can listen to all the songs you want, but you have to shuffle them in a random order.
Yeah, you can't skip so many times. There's all kinds of stuff with it. It's kind of like Spotify. It's like the free version of Spotify in a way.
Yeah,
it's what it kind of reminds me of.
So sorry to go off the track there, but it got me triggered a little bit.
No worries. All right. This next game I'm so excited for. It's an announcement trailer for a, which is funny because this movie came out in the 90s, but it's a Terminator 2 game, but it's 2D
It
and it
looks great.
looks awesome. It's that pixel art,
Oh,
me.
yeah.
That's why I have the name Pixel Havoc. I love this 90s pixel style, it just
Yeah.
looks incredible. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going
we've
to
talked a
pick it up.
lot about, you don't have to have the latest graphics to have a great game. Going back to these simpler pixels, you can have an amazing game.
Yeah, you definitely can. And this thing looks awesome. And what's really neat is not only does it have that cool retro look to it, it looks like it's scenes from every one of the movies. So you're talking Terminator 1, because it even has like the dude naked, Arnold naked in the bar, all the way up to 2. And then even looks like they threw in some others. It's got a very Contra feel to it. And I, for one, am super excited about this. So I'm
It
going to pick it
looks
up.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So if you're a fan of Terminator, you're a fan of really cool pixel art games, this is right up your alley. You should definitely check this bad boy out because I know I'm going to.
Absolutely. And what I think I'm most excited about is it looks, a side scroller. It's probably going to play really great
Oh
on
yeah.
Steam Decks and
Oh
other
yeah.
handheld devices.
Oh yeah. I bet it's
It's
gonna be
going to be
great on
great
Steam.
for on the go play.
Yeah. I hope this like picks up a trend where they like redo RoboCop. Can you imagine that? Like from the arcade,
Oh,
like but do it in
yeah.
this style. They already did it with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I hope this becomes a trend. I would love for them to take movie IPs like this, recycle them, but with this cool retro vibe. I would buy it every
Oh, look at the
time.
continue screen.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the
Very cool.
arcade. Actually, it's almost like they're using some of the sprites from the arcade. So I'm excited.
Very cool.
All right, did you play Guitar Hero?
I did. I had two guitars at one point in my life, and I was jamming pretty good. I never got to the insane where you see all the videos on the YouTube and TikTok now that they're just going so fast.
Oh
I
yeah.
never got that good.
Well, I guess it's been revitalized with Rock Band 4, and there's one called Clone Hero, and of course Fortnite Festival, which they hold these musical things, and essentially it's rhythm. Well, they've partnered with Gibson, the guitar company, and they're making controllers now
Oh,
that are just
nice.
like the OG Rock Band ones, and they look really nice actually. And it's meant for use with any one of these, and they're really sweet looking. I think it's cool that they're bringing these controllers back, and I hope maybe it'll bring on a resurgence of like new Guitar Heroes and things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it was such a change in gameplay.
It was,
And then Rock Band came out, right, with the microphone and
yep,
the
the
drum set.
drums,
And
dude.
yeah.
It's great for parties.
Oh, yeah.
It really was great for parties. So yeah, I'm excited to see these new controllers. So if you all are really into these still, and you play the modern versions like Clone Hero, what they call Yarg, or Fortnite Festival, you can use these. But from what I understand, you can even use these on the OG Rock Band and Guitar Hero as well. So that's cool, man. So if you're into those rhythm games, check out one of these new controllers.
Absolutely. Hey, the next one we're going to talk about is an awesome series that I've loved. I played tons, Command and Conquer. So EA has done some open sourcing, releasing their codes for the Red Alert, Renegade, and General series of Command and Conquer. What this is going to do, I believe, and from what the story says, it's going to help modders make the game their own, and it's also going to help the restoration community and companies keep the game playable into the new consoles and, well, mostly computers. And the one thing, and I may have to have a side conversation with you, is that I saw Windows is stopping all support for Windows 10.
Yeah,
So I'm sure there's some compatibility issues, excuse me, for games like this too.
yeah, there are. Well, I mean, not much of a difference between Windows 10 and 11. You can get pretty much anything that runs on 10 can run on 11, thankfully. So it's not like an issue we've had
Okay.
in the past.
So nothing to worry
Yeah,
about, hopefully.
that
Yeah.
shouldn't be a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's cool that EA is doing this. I never played Renegade. It was their like
I
foray into
did
the
not
shooter.
like it.
It was
I
kind of
did
yeah.
play it, yeah.
You did? Was it
Yeah.
garbage?
It is kinda garbage because you can go in the, nod, buildings, like the
Yeah.
barracks and stuff as you see on the
Okay.
screen, but then it's just very, very basic.
Yeah, it hasn't felt like a money grab.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're doing this, I think, because it's the anniversary of
Yeah.
Command and Conquer,
Yeah.
and I'm glad they're doing it. I'm interested to see what people come up with for, it being open source with modding. Can you imagine the different potential things that people can make? 'Cause the mod
Oh,
community is just
absolutely.
nuts. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about this. It seems very unlike EA to do, to be honest with you. They're not very big on doing this kind
It
of stuff.
is different, they're always up for microtransactions, and
Yeah.
I've had a whole podcast, or not well, podcast, but I've held a whole video series covering them with the Nuclear Strike series about the money grab and all that, so
Yeah. It's weird. But kudos to them. I'm glad they're doing
yeah.
it. So all right.
Next one.
Next one.
I'll
Now.
let you grab this.
All right. So we talked about last podcast the hellscape that is video cards right now, in the fact that Nvidia released their 5000 series. You can't get your hands on them. And you think, oh, well, I'll just go one step down and get the 4000 series. Well, you can't get your hands on those either. And then you have the scalpers making it even worse by buying up what small surplus there is in the shortage and then jacking it sky high. So it's a hot mess right now. And part of the reason why you can't get the 4000 series is because Nvidia was like, well, we're going to stop producing them like back in the fall. So those are in limited supply. And they didn't make enough. They have supply issues for the 5000s. You go to any one of those pages, it's sold out. Good news, but maybe not. We'll see. AMD, their competitor, is releasing the Radeon RX 9070 and 9070 XT, which is meant to compete with the 5000 series. Now, this is mid-tier, going to start about $550. Not bad. This bad boy is going to launch March 6th. Now, what's my thing about this is what's going to happen when the scalpers buy up all these and jack up the price on them? And I really hope that you know, they have more supply. So I don't know, man.
It's kinda gonna be the same thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. They're saying this bad boy is going to be equal to the 5070, which is a good starter card.
Very nice.
If you're wondering what this is. So if you can get your hands on one, I've been ride or die Nvidia for many years on my PC. But with what the stuff's going on and the stuff that Nvidia's doing, I don't know, man. They're making me think AMD. I'm glad they're out there giving them competition. We talked about it last time. Intel, they got that Battle Mage card, $250,
Not bad.
and it's at a 4070 performance. That's pretty appealing. So,
No, it's funny you say
yeah.
that. I actually looked at that, and there's one
Mhm.
one in stock at our local Micro Center.
Really, the Battle Mage.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Which was it? The higher end one? I think there's like a
The the
580.
580 maybe? I
Oh, the
don't know
good
the
one.
exact number. Yeah, let
The
me
good one.
look while, if you keep
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
this
no,
real quick.
I don't know, man. This is this is a time when competition is good. Now, I'll refrain from the soapbox that I got on last time, but just all beware. Come March, oh my gosh, chips are going to go through the roof because they all come from TMC that in China, and with the
Oh, yeah.
tariffs that's coming down the way. I tell you what, not a good time to be a PC builder. And if you're wanting your M.2 storage, if you're wanting these video cards, processor upgrades, dude, all this stuff's about to get really expensive come March. So, my advice, if you have anything related in way of an upgrade, and if you can get your hands on stuff, do it now because the price is about to go up. I'll tell you what, I bet that Battle Mage card is going to get picked up pretty quick there that you're
Yep, so
looking at.
I'm looking, it is a Intel Arc B570,
Yep.
overclocked, 249.99 in stock,
Well,
but there's only one of them.
probably not for long because this is starting to become a hot market. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
So if you know where we're at, that Micro Center has one for you.
There you go. Pick that bad boy up. All right. Next one. Now, I have a disclaimer on this one. Doug and I were going to make this our main topic not too long ago. And the reason why is we have a membership to D&D Beyond. And as a part of that membership, we got an early access code for this new program that's called Sigil. And I downloaded it and I even tried it out. And essentially, what it is, it's very early. But it is their version with the Unreal Engine 5 of you being able to play Dungeons and Dragons either remotely or in person on a screen with a computer, and it essentially makes it 3D like a video game. Now, Doug and I were going to do this, and I fired it all up, and I sent him footage and everything. And there was this massive just NDA disclaimer about you can't stream this, you can't share this, and we were basically under an embargo. Polygon released it today, so if it's on Polygon, I think it's safe to talk about. But
Yep.
if you want an idea what I don't need. They don't even look. They don't even have footage of it. Uh,
Nothing.
Probably because they were a little nervous
Probably you
about
can
it.
talk about it, but you're not gonna show it. Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
It looks freaking awesome though.
Yeah, I watched you, play some of it. It is amazing. We can describe it all we want, but,
I,
we really need to do it justice and just let you watch it.
I bet there's a video out there somewhere of it.
Someone doesn't care about the NDA, so
I'm sure there is. I don't know.
as you're looking for that, I think what this will do is hopefully you can just join in with some totally random people on the internet and have a D&D session. That's the problem for a lot of people. Well, some people like me is I want to play D&D really bad, but fitting the time, you're super busy. I'm super busy. All of our friends, we can't get that time to get together and play. And maybe this online, when you have some time, just jump into a one-off or a one-shot. I keep saying the wrong thing, or a quick campaign would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to make it more accessible. This is a still, or now this is an early build. It actually looks better than this, but it gives you an idea what we're talking about. You can actually rotate your camera. You can move your little figures around, just like you would a board. It kind of like when we played with Ron Danuser at RonCon, where he actually had physical towers
Oh, it
and
was amazing.
walls.
Every encounter, he had
He
a
made stuff.
handcrafted,
Yeah,
hand-painted
it was great.
thing to bring out for you.
But now they're looking to do that in the digital sense using the Unreal Engine 5. And so that's what
Yeah,
Project Sigil is. So once, it starts to come around, we'll definitely start showcasing it more as they lift
absolutely.
lift the
Yeah.
embargo. But once I saw Polygon had it, I had to throw it in here, Doug, because I was like, hey, we can talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. And some of the things they're really keying in on is you can upload 2D maps, handouts, reference images, that fog of war tool, so your players can't really
Mhm.
see what's going on in front of them.
Yeah.
It also offers a built-in journal for storing all your notes, chat system. So it's going to be really good if they get this up and running. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see. There's a group of people, traditional, got to be on paper, got to be dice in the real world, but then there's also us that I think enjoy
Oh,
the
don't go too far.
technological aspect of it.
Don't go too far. Don't you go too far. He's dancing
I
on the line, everybody. And the
I'm not
line
giving
he's
nothing
all
away.
right, just making sure, making sure. Our main topic is
We
linked
gotta
to
keep
this.
each other
That's
in
fine.
check. No, no, don't tell the topic yet.
No, I got
It's not
okay,
time.
okay, all right. See, he likes getting on to me just like I like getting on him.
I was just reading from this article. So, what I'm saying is the technology aspect of it
It
is
is.
really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting there, and it's going to be really cool, making it more accessible for everybody. And uh, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. Make sure we're talking about the right one.
Yeah, Open
Hey,
AI.
Open AI. You've had a little more experience with the paid version. I have the free version that works great. I have a limit to how many image searches or creations I could do. But it looks like OpenAI is announcing Chat GPT version 4.5
Mhm.
and Frontier AI model. I may have to have you explain that to
Yeah.
me. But what they're saying is this is its newest and largest model being released as a research preview.
Correct. And the way that you can use this, so there's two tiers with OpenAI. You just have the standard full tier, which is 20 a month. If you have a professional, that's it's expensive. It's like $200 or something like that. It's insane. But that allows you to do like full blown coding and all kinds of stuff. What they're
Yeah.
talking about when they say not a frontier, think of it. It's not GPT version 5, which means that it would be a big step with new features. All they're saying is that this has all the features, same features of 4. It just does it a little bit better. Now it does
Oh, okay.
caution it may not be as fast as, like, they have some mini models now of like 3 and a few others. They say it's not as fast as those mini models they just did, but it's the most comprehensive, and it's getting better. What I think is most interesting about this is that OpenAI seems to be slow rolling. They seem to be. Remember, they were like at the beginning of last year. They dropped the 3.0 model on us. They were just like boom, 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 and all these fast leaps, right?
Yeah.
And then you get all these copycats like DeepSeek and all these others. And I've noticed OpenAI has kind of slowly pulled back, and I think they're further along than what they're letting on. And
Yeah.
I think they're easing it in. I think they saw the chaos of what dropping that in so fast happen, and I think they're pulling the reins back a little bit. And I think 4.5 is them doing soft launches, is what I would call it, before they do any brand new big feature
Yeah.
sets.
Makes sense.
So, but I can't check it out because I'm not paying the $200 a month. That's a bit.
No, and I appreciate you breaking that down for us.
It's a bit much, $200 a month.
Yeah.
But they always do really good with their videos and how they introduce the stuff, and they do demos like this, which I think is interesting. Instead of doing the big grandstanding keynotes, they do these small, intimate, almost like conversations with friends, and I think that's a cool way to do it. So, all right, let's get into
Yeah,
the next
keep
one.
rocking. We got some good stuff still.
Did you ever play KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic?
I did not.
Oh my goodness!
I know it.
Are you kidding me? What?
I've
Where
heard a
were
lot of
you?
good things.
Did you
I was
Did you play did you have a 360 or an Xbox? Did you have an Xbox?
I was probably over on Battlefield. I took up a lot of my time in the first Red Dead and Red Dead Revolver.
Oh, they're
Uh,
the first ones?
yeah,
But you never
yeah.
played Knights of the Old Republic?
I don't believe I have no.
Oh man, Doug.
Yeah, I know, slacking. Another niche on the wall there.
Emotional damage.
Oh my gosh. What am I gonna do with you, man?
Hey,
Jeez.
this is the podcast. I'm learning. I need to experience more things, and yeah.
I know. Well, to be fair, this is where he learned about Skyrim. He never played Skyrim.
And Skyrim is amazing. I've played it. I beat it. So.
Yeah. Well, if you look, since you've
And you don't really beat it. You
No,
complete one.
you just playthroughs, right? That's what it is.
Playthrough. Yeah.
Well, here's your chance. These are classic games. They are relatively like turn-based, and they're really good. They are available, 1 and 2, through the Epic Games stores on mobile app actually right now, and they revamped them and made them a little bit better in way
Nice.
of like reskin them. So if you want to try them out on mobile for iOS or Android, slap these on your iPad. These would be perfect, man. And
Very
I
nice.
think you'd enjoy it. So give it a shot. All right, you're up next. You
Hey,
play Simon.
I have played Simon. That's way back in the day.
We can do it
So,
again.
yeah, it looks like Simon is coming back, but they're putting a little spin on it. You know, it's no longer the handheld version. It's got a very DDR or Dance Dance Revolution vibe to it. So you have a big pad, almost like, and you're gonna hate me. I have the name. What's
Uh-oh.
it? The game that you do like yoga and all the dots?
Yoga and all the dots.
Oh my
Are
god!
you talking about on the Wii?
No, like
Wii
you
Fit?
roll the mat out. This is an old game.
It's an old game.
Okay.
You are
Anyway, I'll keep
killing
going.
me. Old
You know,
game
if you
with
look at my
yoga.
window, the window is a judge of is Doug awake? Is Doug tired? So we're going to keep going.
Old
So,
game yoga with dots. I'm gonna Google that.
okay.
What are you smoking, man?
You know, you spin the little wheel and it's red, hand, green.
Twister?
Hey, there
That's
we
not
go.
yoga. What the?
Well, it's yoga if my hand's over here on the green dot.
Oh my God.
We'll
Okay,
cut
I
this part
guess.
out.
Nope. This stays in.
Okay. So, for those,
Emotional damage.
you know, this is not coffee. It's water, and I need to switch. But
Oh my gosh. So you're comparing this to Twister?
I'm trying to, yeah, but I failed miserably.
Oh wow, that's so good. No, nothing like Twister. More like
Okay.
Dance Dance Revolution, or even
Hey,
the Power
by the
Pad.
way, we have a Facebook page, Instagram. Just let me know how bad I messed up.
Oh
Drop
my
some
God.
memes in
you
there.
go.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
That's
Okay.
funny.
All right, back on track. So,
do you
Simon,
do you remember the Power Pad for the Nintendo?
I
remember
did,
that?
yeah.
Where you could
Oh,
like
yeah.
track and field. And I think that's a better comparison.
Okay,
probably
I'll
for
let
the-
you take over from here. I'll take a break for a second.
He's backing out. Oh man, got his feelings hurt. Oh, so
Oh,
yes.
no, I'm good.
You know, I don't know if there's much of a market for this. Maybe there is, but the hardest part about Simon for me was always when you get into those upper levels, when you're hitting it. It's the memory piece of it. But I definitely think you'd probably get a workout for sure.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
this.
yeah.
So it's interesting.
Or if you're playing Twister and red hand green,
I guess so.
don't twist your back.
It is weird to me that they're bringing back some of these nostalgia 80 based games and putting different twists on them. I mean,
You know, there's a strong argument of do we have any original ideas anymore?
I think they're wanting to go for this is true in movies and video games anymore. I think they're just wanting to go for established IP so that I don't know. They're worried about taking risk. No one wants to take risk anymore. So Sound like an old man, but all right. Are you ready for the next one, Doug?
I hope so.
Have you
I
gained
was
your
gonna
composure?
text our favorite fan and let him know I've already messed up. So
Yeah, he's talking about Brian.
okay.
Do you want this one? You want
Yeah. So next one, Warner Brothers is going to cancel the Wonder Woman game. Sorry. To me, Wonder Woman, she's kind of one of the lesser known, which I'm saying I know her, I know about the comics and stuff, but she doesn't have quite the appeal of some of their other IPs. So I can kind of see why they're canceling the game because I'm sure there's some kind of market hit that you got to get to recoup your money, recoup all the time invested
okay,
in a big project like that.
so everybody, we're gonna have to give Doug a little grace. He's tired. It's more than just the Wonder Woman game. In the article, so yes, that's a huge part of this, but it's Monolith Studios
Oh,
is what WB Warner Brothers Games shut down. This was the one they had in the pipeline. Why this is a big deal? They made Middle Earth: Shadows of Mordor. They made the WB Multiverse, which is their fighting game, which is supposed to be on par with Super Smash Brothers. They made the old Doom type game called Blood. They had some pretty heavy hitters. You remember Fear? Did you ever play
I did.
Fear? They
Yeah.
made
Same
that.
studio. Oh
S-
man. Yeah.
So they have some classic games that they're known for. And yes, they did have Wonder Woman in the pipeline, and that will get canceled as as that. But it's at this point, like it also is killing a studio that brought us some pretty big games.
Yeah.
And it kind of calls into question. It says Warner Brother Games has delivered, a lot of games from Rocksteady Studios, which is another group with the Suicide Squad, which did not do great. Harry Potter, Quidditch Champions. I mean, eh, so I don't know. These AAA titles and these AAA companies are, I don't know, they're spending like 50 to $100 million, if not more, on these games, and they're tanking when they don't sell right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems like it's all where indie, like our last episode, we talked about indie games. It seems like that's kind of where it's going and where it's at, just because of the development cost on this. So, but we'll see. All right, I would have liked a Wonder Woman game though, so I think it'd be cool. But I'm a DC guy, so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah. Are you excited about the Wolverine game coming out?
I believe so. I've seen a couple screens from it. I haven't seen a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, they haven't. There's a little bit, not a lot though. It's
Yeah.
mainly been like somatic. So,
Okay, I'm gonna try this again.
all right, you got this one. You got this, buddy.
All right.
I believe in you.
Skype.
Let's see how he
If
does,
you
everybody.
Skype. I'm just gonna read the title. No.
Okay.
So Skype, if you don't know, is a video chat, and it had some regular chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
He's
It
doing
is
good.
taking its final curtain call and video May 5th. So 20 years ago, this started. Did you ever use Skype?
Oh yes, all the time.
Yeah, you probably had a lot of meetings and stuff before
Tons.
some of the now apps that you use.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with Skype, like I remember when Skype launched, I was at CES, and I remember this was before Microsoft owned them. And they were a pretty scrappy company. They had, what was unique about them was they had a codec that allowed video to actually be pretty decent on a call. Up
Oh,
to that point, it was
nice.
kind of gross. And that's essentially why Microsoft bought them. Was it was allows Microsoft to, because Microsoft honestly, they don't really innovate. They buy companies, small companies that already innovate. They buy innovation instead of make innovation anymore. And so that's what they did with Skype. And then all they did was they gutted it for its codecs that it has that does all of the streaming technology,
Yeah.
and they shoved it into what's now called Microsoft Teams. And so Teams has been replacing it, but this has been on like a 20-year journey. But it's been really a long game for companies to get out of Skype because they had a heavy investment into it. But yeah, it's finally coming down to the way. So Skype will be no more. So back in the day, people would be like, "Hey man, we can Skype, or you Skype me." No, not anymore. It doesn't
Nice.
exist. So end of an era after 20 years.
I had to look up the competition, and there's a ton out there for virtual video meeting spaces. You mentioned Microsoft Teams, you got
Zoom.
WebEx, which I've used a lot, Zoom, obviously, GoToMeeting,
Zoom.
and the list goes on. So it's
Then
a lot of competition.
you got the proprietary ones too. You've got
Yeah.
Google Meet, you've got FaceTime, that's Apple's.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the way, WebEx, it's the worst in my opinion. I'm not a fan.
I'm pretty sure I got kicked off a couple WebExes. It just froze out.
It's
So
not a great not a great technology. They haven't kept up. I do. Zoom is the one I spend the most time on.
Yep.
Teams is actually pretty good. I've had good luck with it, but yeah, man, I live on these since I'm lucky enough to be a remote worker, so I know all
Hey,
about
there
them.
you go.
All right, our last one, and this is about Steam. Like now, this is coming to an end, but if you all want to check it out, you can. Steam has something called the Next Fest, which is full of a bunch of
It's
weird games.
they are weird. I went down the list, but
They're odd, aren't they?
I mean,
Uh,
just the picture here.
oh yeah,
There's a potato with a hat on, maybe, or
yeah.
a toupee,
Lot
and
lot of indie stuff, a lot of Japanese games, but,
yeah,
oftentimes those are the best games I found, but this is gonna be running till March 3rd. So if you wanna go to Steam and check it out, you can, go out and try these games. They got demos of them, which is kinda cool, so that if you know if you're gonna like it or not. Now, I will say, by, the Devolver, company, they do have the Talos principle, which this game was very, very popular. It kind of like reminds me of a modern version of Myst. Do you remember Myst back in the day?
I do. Yeah, actually,
Yeah, and so it's got a lot of puzzles, and it's a beautiful game. And so you had to like get these lasers to you directed in a certain way to open things up. They remastered it, and it looks beautiful. So I'm really glad they did that because this was definitely an indie game, and it's kind of cool if they're coming
yeah,
back and revisiting it. Outside of that, they get into some weird stuff. I mean, Bundle of Joy.
yeah. I don't
Like,
know.
did you ever play the Wario
Don't.
series?
Yeah,
That's what it
I
reminds me
have.
of.
Yeah,
It reminds me of that, like the Wario. Remember, like on the DS, you do like all these little mini games, like this is rocking the baby and things like that. That's what this reminds me of.
I was going off the rails again, but I pulled myself back. I was about to mention the board game "Don't Wake Daddy"
Oh my gosh.
because you're
Okay,
taking care of a baby here. Yeah,
I get it. I get it. But it's not a
you
video
know,
game.
this is not my episode. I'll come back for the
We're
next
not gonna
one.
do
So,
night records anymore. So,
yeah,
what
no.
do you think of the game called Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3?
It looks interesting. The title does not do it justice because then you get into almost a Bejeweled or
It
Candy
is.
Crush.
It is. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's awesome. I don't know. Go try the demo and check it out. Maybe you'll like it. So, but I think it was definitely worth mentioning. Now you did say there's looks like a potato, but this is called Promise Mascot Agency Tokyo Game Show. Now
mm,
I believe this may be tied into something that's popular in Japan, but it's a town of misfit mascots,
nice.
and it got that anime feel. I don't. It just it looks
I'm
awful.
loving the little Japanese mini truck, which I have looked at for
Yeah,
purchasing for myself.
you did talk about that,
Yeah.
driving around on your land instead of a side by side because you can get them
Oh,
pretty
it's
cheap,
same
right?
price.
Yeah, and they're tough too. Like you
They are
can,
nice.
yeah. So yeah, you can drive around, and I don't know if
Is
that's a.
that a piece of tofu? I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a marshmallow?
I don't know.
Like we said, guys, this is weird. So try it your own.
The Japanese are a little different.
They are, but sometimes some cool stuff comes from
They
doing it.
are
So,
some cool stuff. Yeah,
but yeah, check it out. You have until early part of March. What was that? March 3rd, I believe it is, to
I
check
believe
these
so.
out
Yeah.
if you're interested. All right, I think that does it for the nerd news. If you're ready
Yeah.
to jump into this, before we kind of get into the share, I do have a little bit of a explanation on this, just to let everybody know why this has been in the works for a while now. So as you know, Doug and I, we mentioned it just a little bit ago. We went to RonCon. That is a tabletop board game convention. And we shared on the podcast. It was our first episode of this season. And we were able to play. And it was really unique in the fact that Ron Danuser, who we've had on the podcast before, he's a very talented artist, him and
Yeah.
his wife, Jamie. They have been long time Dungeons and Dragons players. Now, up to this point, I haven't played in many, many years. High school, which was a very long time ago, and so we got to play, and we had a fun. And if you want to know what that experience was like for us, you can go back and check out episode number 1. And like Doug said, he had most of those are made out of foam, right, Doug? That he
Yeah.
makes.
Well, some of the buildings and stuff, but what were the little characters made out of? Like plaster or?
They can be plastic or metal sometimes because
Okay.
you
Yeah.
can get those 3D printed. The
Plastic.
minifigs is
Yeah.
what he's talking about. But it was all very physical and tactile, and it was wonderful. The biggest problem though, and so I had a blast, and
Yeah.
we did try to do an episode last year, it didn't go so great, where we tried to use Dungeons and Dragons Beyond, which is the electronic remote version. And I think it was a combination of I'm kind of rusty as a DM, and then on top of that, you have the tools, and everybody else was rusty the first time playing.
Hmm.
So we've been trying to find this way. Well, how do we get back into this? But I love the old school, but I love mixing the old school with the new school. And after we played at RonCon, I got to talking to Doug, and I went down the rabbit hole of, you know what? It would be so cool if you could get in a room with your friends physically and play, but have the digital element. Because my biggest issue is like, I love what Ron does, but dude, it is expensive, and I
Oh
don't
yeah.
have the talent. So if you go out and just outright buy buildings, buy walls to build these dungeons and do all the stuff like he does, like I don't have the talent to paint, and I don't have room in my house to store all of that stuff. Because remember, he had crates upon crates
Yes.
of the minifigs, right?
Well, and
Uh,
he had them sorted to somewhat because he knew exactly what crate to get
yep,
a goblin or the goblins on horse, but they
yep.
weren't horses. But yeah,
And he had buildings. He had whole
yeah,
buildings, right?
the haystacks were the craziest thing I've
Oh
ever
yeah.
seen.
So
Yeah,
while all that's impressive and it is
yeah,
very immersive, and that's what I loved about it, I wanted to find a happy medium and alternative for us to get back into it with our friends, but I want to mix the old school and the new school. And so that's when I went down the rabbit hole. And we've had my brother, Brian, who Old Timer Games, we work his booth at Como Retro Games. Brian's very, very talented. He's made arcade cabinets for you, Doug, right?
yeah,
He's
definitely.
like,
Yep.
he's fabricated things. He's very talented in his own right. And so I got to thinking, what if I commissioned him to make something special? And so we set out and we basically Doug and I put our heads together and we're like, what kind of features would it be? They have these online and you can buy them outright. We researched that first, but then I thought, okay, what if we did a custom one? And it took a few months and we actually did it and we got it delivered and we got it made. And that's what we're going to showcase. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up the share now. This bad boy looks like this.
Yeah.
Now it looks like a coffin. I'm gonna let you kind of cue it up. What do you what?
Yeah, the first picture we have for those that are listening audio wise is it looks like an old wooden trunk,
Mhm.
like a trunk you take across sea, not onto the Titanic, but something like that.
I hope not.
Yeah. Very nice rope inlay around the edge,
Yep.
and then these little dragon knobs, like pull knobs for your cabinets.
Exactly. And this bad boy, when you get to looking at it, I'm gonna flip through the photos here. It's meant to be set on your tabletop, and at that point, it is a digital screen. And the idea behind it, and we've got footage and we'll show it, is that you can put your Dungeons and Dragon maps, whether you're using D&D Beyond, or you can even use YouTube videos, which is what I have here in the video here in a moment we're going to showcase. But the idea behind it is that you can gather around this and you can have a digital experience playing Dungeons and Dragons, and you can even put your minifigures on the screen. So I'm going to flip through here and just give a walkthrough. Now on the DM end, all this Brian went through and he put an actual computer inside of it. So not only does it have a television on the inside, a 40-inch television, it
Yeah.
also has a PC, a Windows-based PC that's on the inside. And he did wiring just like he does for his arcade cabinets. You see the power button there. It's got an HDMI out. You see the controller on the side there. It's got USB ports.
Well,
Um,
look at the joints on the side. If you go back one
yeah.
picture, I mean, he joined the pieces of wood together, but the connections look great.
Yep.
It's got a little rustic feel to it. It's
Yeah.
not perfect, but it's got to feel like it's been weathered and aged, and it's perfect for D&D, I think.
And that's purposeful, I believe. And he put felt on the bottom so it doesn't
Yeah,
scratch up the table. So that's a
very
great
nice.
point on that. I forgot to mention the dovetailing that he had done on it. And so, yeah, he was going for an aesthetic. And I told him, anything Dungeons and Dragons themed is great. Now he put fans in it. And what's awesome is he has a 3D printer and he knew that there was going to have to be a screen to catch dust and stuff. So he made 3D printed skulls on either side.
Very cool.
One fan, just like a good PC modder, one
Yeah.
fan sucks the air in, one fan blows it out. And so it keeps it nice and cool for that PC and that TV on the inside. And the gold overlay, that's wooden, by the way. It's a wood gold overlay for that trim. And the knobs are all, there's a close up, dragons, which is really
They
kind of
look
cool.
amazing,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I told him I wanted it to be portable because I want to be able, the whole reason why we have the PC inside of it, if I want to be able to pick this thing up, throw it in the car, and take it to Doug's, it has everything inside of it that I need.
Yeah.
And so that's the goal. And so he even has a little cart that it can go on for wheels to make it easy to transport. It's about 30 pounds. Now he threw in something extra that I did not ask for as a surprise and as a thank you for us working the Como RetroCons on top of that. What you see here is a DM, a dungeon master screen. Now, oftentimes in the traditional Dungeons and Dragons, you have this. Oftentimes it's paper up in front of you so that the players can't see what the DM's doing because there's all kinds of notes, story notes. Well, he made one out of wood and he etched it, laser etched the dragon into it with this like Nordic design around it. And I'll flip through here. This is the inside of it. And you notice those little notches there, Doug? You
Yeah,
see
what are
those?
those for?
So those are inputs.
Oh,
Why
nice.
does it need inputs? It has a screen in it also.
Oh, you just blew my mind. And I love the, design there, the 2 cross swords.
Yeah, yeah, he did the cross
Very
swords.
nice.
Like, I mean, the time and attention that he put on this DM screen, this goes in combination with the table, and we're going to
It
show it
looks
here.
amazing.
Yeah, we'll show it in action so that you can get an idea behind it. This is a close up here. You see this panel? This panel has magnets in it. And when you grab the dragon, you lift up, it's magnetic. That board comes out because that's how you access the inside. There's the mini PC down there at the base, and you can see the wiring, that he has inside of here, the custom wiring that he did. And so that gives you a peek of how you can see on the inside there of where that PC is. If you ever need to reach in and grab anything, or if you want to replace it, you can. You can swap it out.
Very cool.
Close up of the power buttons. There's the HDMI and USB. Again, PC. Now, there's an image of what I have it on. I do have a video that will show as well. But essentially, you can see I can put anything on that screen at the top. Some DMs will actually do the dice rolls on that. So if you're doing, digital dice, you can do dice rolls. You can put creature character stats on there if they're fighting somebody, or you can just have a video looping and playing for ambiance if you want. Now, the other part of this that's really cool is the sound of the television. So you can have music playing, sound effects. You talk about immersion level factor. It is so cool. Now this is on the opposite side. Now I've got the iPad running the DM screen, and then you can see I have a screen with a keyboard and mouse that's actually running and hooked up to the PC that's running the D&D digital table itself. There's another angle there, and once you see the video, you guys will be able to see just exactly what this is like. And for these maps, you can actually have this one doesn't have grid, but some of them have grid systems on it. Doug and I's goal is that we want to put minifigs, which, by the way, I bought some minifigures. I found an artist that we've commissioned to paint minifigures for us. There's a layer of plexiglass that Brian put on the television here. And he even painted black stripes so you don't see the bezel. And we're going to be able to put the minifigs with the grid system, just like we did with Ron Dan User, except instead of it being a physical board, we're going to put it directly on the television and we can move our characters around in
That's
accordance to
awesome.
its space. This is running D&D Beyond. This is my character sheet where from a DM, I can do my roles. And it just kind of shows you what the DM sees on the flip side. Now, he is going to be building me a stand to put all this on, and I can hide all my cords and stuff on as well. And so that's kind of something new that's coming along the way. There's a close up of the character screen if you've never seen D&D Beyond. My cats loved it. Thankfully, it
Oh,
wasn't a touch screen. You can see the
very
cats
nice.
in there. They were checking it out. They thought it was really curious. Now here's a video. Now what's awesome is I've got the sound off, but I had Skyrim music playing. You can see where the water is glistening. See, it's
Oh,
moving.
absolutely, yeah.
And then I have a Bouldar's Gate is up like a screensaver on the DM screen. See the trees are swaying.
Oh,
What's
that's amazing.
what's cool on some of these now these are YouTube videos that I was doing. On some of these, there's actual birds. See the water flowing? Birds will fly by on the screen as you're playing. And what's really neat is if I had the sound on, not only could you play music, that waterfall is raging. So you can actually have birds chirping in nature sounds, crickets chirping, and waterfall sounds coming out of the D&D table while you're playing with your minifigures on there. And you can quickly, as a DM, swap these out very quickly as you enter combat encounters. And it just adds this level of immersion. So the magic trick that I'm going to have to get used to as a DM is going to be swapping these maps out very quickly, having them preset up, and of course, also what goes on the DM screen to match it, which they have all softwares that allow you to do that because it's all about immersion at that point. And you can see this is the walk around video that I have here.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited for us to try it. I already got some campaign minds, some one shots that we're gonna do. We're gonna have some friends over. We're even talking about doing some D&D themed foods. So gather people around the table. Our wives, we're hoping to join us. I know my wife is excited too. I don't know if
Uh,
yours is.
yeah, she's not really into fantasy, but she is there for a good time. So
Yeah, so I think she'll do it. If my wife does it, she'll probably
yeah,
do it.
peer pressure gets her
Yeah,
every time.
that's the goal. And I know our friend Joe and his wife are talking about joining us. So this is going to be fun, I think.
It's gonna be good.
We'll try to take pictures and stuff, but what's going to be just awesome is as I prep as a DM, not only do I have the ability to tell a story like Ron Dan user, but different is that anything that I want, I can put on this. Any music I want, any sound effect I want. So I'm going for a level of immersion of mixing that old and new. That's kind of what we wanted to do with this. And so Brian did an impeccable job
Oh,
on this. We're
amazing.
excited to use it. And it's been like a few months in the making. And I
Yeah.
really appreciate the commissioned work that he did on this. Like it's just I'm so excited. And what's so cool, you just pop it off the table with those handles you see there. You put it on the little cart, and I just wheel it into my electronic closet. So I just grab it and go. And now I have a backpack that I can stuck the DM screen in, all my, my cables and my keyboard and mouse. So I'm excited about trying this out. I think it's going to be a blast to be able to tell a story as well. I think it's going to be cool.
Definitely.
Now, you've been playing D&D, but you've been doing it with some work friends, and
Yeah.
you've been doing it more traditional, right?
We have. I mean, we have a couple miniatures, but mostly we're kind of using just a piece of paper. There are some structures that we've been using as well,
Hmm.
but mostly not like this. This seems so immersive to me, and I understand. I was talking earlier. I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. I appreciate you catching me there, but I really appreciate the old school way of doing it on pen and paper or pencil and paper. But I also enjoy, and I'm of the younger generation, the advance in technology because this puts you more into it, I think. I mean, the ambient sounds of the birds and the waterfalls, like you said, I think you'd get way more into the action and the storyline and what's going on.
Yeah,
So I like this better, I believe.
yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. I love the old school, but I love the new school, and I like
Yeah.
just merging them together. And I'm hoping this is our attempt to do this. The real question is, do you think we would be able to get Mr. Old School Ron Danuser to play with us on this TV?
I think out of curiosity,
He
he's got to
might.
try it. Yeah, yeah.
It's not as cool as his full blown 3D
No,
one.
no.
I'll
I
admit
mean,
that. I'm not trying to be as cool as Ron. I'm not as talented as Ron.
yeah.
But I think this is a happy medium that we'll go for. Now, can you imagine once D&D Beyond's Sigil project takes off, we would be able to actually cast the Unreal 5 version on the
Onto
screen.
this
Yeah.
device. Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so to me, I love the possibilities of
Yeah.
what we have here with this and what we can do, what it gives me as a DM to be able to tell a story and to get back into the game. So I'm super excited. Once we get our minifigures back from our commissioned artists that we have, I'll showcase what those look like, and we'll try to get some photos of us playing, this thing, and as we're doing it. And what's really cool is for the campaign that I already prepped, Doug, I found an artist who takes the paper maps that are part of D&D campaigns you already have, and he reimagines them for these tables. And
Oh,
I joined his.
digitizes and
Yeah.
animates and
Yeah. Now, some of them are animated, some of them are not. So we're going to do like a mix, even to keep it simple at first. We may not even do the animated ones at first. We may stick with static images just
okay.
to get our
Yeah.
flow going. But I'm really excited about the opportunity to try this out. and we'll definitely report back to everybody. So
Oh, I'm super excited.
this bad boy's been cooking for a while now, and I think it's wholly unique, and I think it's right in the wheelhouse of the Wired Nerdy podcast family because we love video games, comic books, all things nerdy, D&D. Dude, we
Yep.
love technology too. Like just like the dude on Napoleon Dynamite, his brother. I love technology. So
Very nice.
that's where we're at here. So yeah, man, I'm excited to share this. And I think that does it for our main topic. So do you have anything to add on this topic before we start wrapping this bad boy up?
No, I think we're good. I think we definitely need to have a show showcasing the artwork of your brother, this amazing D&D TV table, and all the stuff that we can do with it. I think adding, I've talked about the Stream Deck. I always say Steam Deck, Stream Deck, and adding some ambient sound, some musics. I
Dude,
think that
that's
might
a
be an
great
additional
idea.
thing you can add to this.
Oh, Doug, that's a genius idea because with the USB ports that he already has in the back,
Oh,
I
yeah.
could I could put a
And
Stream
you can
Deck,
play it right through the TV.
dude. And since it's running Windows,
Hmm.
like the SoundPad is the app that you use with it, right?
Soundpad through the
Yep,
Steam. Yep. Steam
genius.
Store.
And you can have music playing. I had Skyrim music playing on the television while I was setting this
Mhm.
up, and it really does set a mood. It's pretty cool.
You talk about if you are the DM or whoever the DM is, sets a folder on their Stream Deck of the sounds just for that campaign. I think it'd be a great time.
That's a great idea. See, I love this. This is why we come together, have awesome ideas. That's great. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited about it. So we are excited to share it with you.
Absolutely. Hey, as we're closing up, I want to kind of switch gears.
Sure.
We talk about Brian a lot. We talk about him having a booth at Como RetroCon. I just want to give a shout out. That is actually happening
Soon.
on April 19th, 2025.
Yeah.
It's going to be running 10 to 5 p.m. in Columbia, Missouri. It's at the Northeast Event Center. Huge new venue. We were at the Stony Creek Inn last year. Sumner has gotten us an amazing new venue, tons and tons of floor space. I know your brother's already got a pretty good chunk, so our work is ahead of us.
Yep.
We got a lot of stuff to haul on this year, but I wanted to give a shout out to Sumner, shout
Yep.
out to your brother, Ole Tymer Games, and April 19th, we're going to be super busy.
We are, and I am so excited. The coolest thing about the retro con at Como, this thing keeps growing, and that's why they had to move to a bigger venue. And
Yeah.
I am so excited for all the work that Sumner's doing. He's reached out to us. We've got some cool stuff in the works that we're going to be
Yeah.
able to share at a later date with them for the con. Doug and I are going to be there along with a whole bunch of other guests and people doing cosplay. We're going to be working Brian's booth. Also, if you don't want to wait, if you're in the area, in the Missouri area at all, just passing through and you don't want to wait, or you're not going to be here for the ComoCon, Brian also has two, not one, two very large booths at the Midway Flea Market. And that is right off I-70, by the way. So if you swing
Yep.
in there, Old Timer Games, check it out. He's got a massive inventory. I swear, Doug, he just gets more and more and more as a collector. But he's like a collector reseller, like extraordinaire. He has so
Oh,
much
absolutely.
stuff. Ugh,
We
jeez.
talk about our friends Neo Ness
Yeah,
and
that's the right way. Yep.
yep, thank you.
They
Sorry.
spent a lot of time in the booth last year
Yeah,
because they were finding some cool stuff. So
yeah.
I'm
And they kept coming back. Your brother's selection is, well, what you see on the table, well, I've got 12 times that amount.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what I love about it too is that, and I'm not knocking any vendors there. There's some amazing vendors there. They're
Yeah,
wonderful.
definitely.
But Brian's mentality is really about the love of the hunt, and he isn't quite
He's not
wrapped up.
necessarily in it for the money. He's in it for
not.
the passion, if
Yeah.
I'm saying that right.
And I'll say this. I won't knock the vendors at the Retro ComoCon, but I will say I do take issue with the very few vendors we have at like the Comic Con in Kansas City. Like
Oh,
those
their
prices,
prices were so high.
they were
My
insane.
goodness.
Dude, like because Doug and I work the booth, we know what Brian always looks up, the market value on price
Yep.
listings, and then he doesn't he doesn't mark it up a lot,
No.
like because again he's
Yeah.
about the hunt and connecting people with what they want for their collections, and that's his passion, and he just loves doing it. But dude, you go to some of these conventions, not so much
It's
the Como
outrageous.
Con, but some of these other ones we've been to, even Comic Cons. There was an event recently, and even in Columbia not too long ago at the mall. It was cool, but some of the prices you're like, whoo,
Yeah.
They're just trying to make money and turn a profit. That's all they seem to care about.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we have some exciting stuff coming up when it comes to all the stuff coming down the way. Speaking of Comic Con, got our tickets on ordered, and we're going to be
Hey,
doing that
thank you.
next month. Hopefully, it's a better experience. I'm going to try to not be negative about it.
Yeah.
So overall, we've got some exciting episodes coming down the way and stuff that we're working on, Doug. I'm stoked.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And as always, we got the merch store out
Yep.
there, lots of good stuff. We're getting a little warmer. T-shirts. We got T-shirts.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
need to be so hot in one of our hoodies.
That's right.
Coffee cups,
Drink
bags
bottles.
of coffee, all kinds of
Oh
stuff.
yeah, check it out. And we got
And then
social media. Don't forget about
yeah,
that.
so,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say. Social media, if you remember from 30 minutes ago when I had a little snafu, let me know how I did or what do I need to improve or tell me to wait for it to get light right out that window and I'll be a little more awake.
Yeah,
So,
check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
yep.
We have fun. We always try to post funny memes all the time. That's how we market. We market through memes. That's
Yeah.
our strategy. Memes and music. So if you wanna get a little chuckle, we try to come up with the most creative ways that we can with memes of how we can promote the podcast. And there's an amazing community out there that we
There
are
is.
blessed enough to be connected to
Yeah.
and talk to through that whole mechanism and with the cons. So yeah, man, I am excited about the cool stuff coming down the way. This has been a long time in the making for this episode with the D&D table. We'll keep you on the loop on how that goes. It was a fun share. We want to thank Brian, Ole Tymer Games,
Yep.
for making it for us. And it's a blast. I can't wait to use it. And we'll keep checking in with you guys on it. And of course, we have some really cool stuff coming down the way. So bring us home, Dougie. That wraps up number 7 for
Yeah, I
us.
think you've said everything. We want to thank everybody so much. We're doing this not just because we need to keep ourselves busy, but because we love it. We love talking about this stuff. We love learning about new things. We love sharing stuff that we're creating, that we're making, that we're preparing for. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.
All right, you guys. Have a good one. Take care.